Alrighty, welcome back. Congratulations on getting to this point. Believe it or not, we are almost at the end of the tune where we go into a halftime groove. Let me explain to you in the course of the lessons where we are and how we got to the end of the tune. We started off with the first two A sections, the bridge, and then a third A section, which led us into the solos. That's chorus number one. Chorus number two is the solo idea with this. That whole thing. And then you can either do that again for the second A section of the second chorus, or you can do the noodly jazz guitar stuff, which I've warned you not to get too stuck in. So that was the end of the lesson previous to this. Now we're at the bridge. I've showed you the bridge. No need to show you that again. And then following the bridge is going to be a third and final A section. However, there's going to be a transition at the end of the A section that's going to get us into halftime, which is again sort of a Count Basie-ish kind of way to end a tune. Count Basie, the big band leader. And I think this was inspired from Frank Sinatra's recording of New York, New York, where they go for this real slow groove at the end. Okay, so I'm going to show you first the chord shapes and the harmonies that we're going to need that are going to transition us into the halftime. Okay, so it's going to be C9, sharp 11. Then we're going to scooch all the fingers except the first up a fret. It's going to give us a C sharp minor 11. Then we're going to go back. Then I have a B sus, which I like to play with the thumb over the neck. I'm going to do triplets on this, which I'll demonstrate in a sec. And then the first finger is going to come down. Now that's a very comfortable chord for me, actually, because I've done it so often. But if that's uncomfortable for you, please do not push anything. Do not hurt your thumb. Do a bar chord instead. You can do bar, to a B7 chord. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it from bam, 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 boom, bam, bam, bam. I'm going to take it from there. And then when you see me go into this C9 chord, that's when the transition is going to happen. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. Here we go. Let me demonstrate that to you one more time, starting at the C9 chord. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and. So our tempo's now 2, 3, 4. So here's how we got there. We were at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it'd be good if you can tap your left foot to this. Okay? And then we had the B9, the B7 chord, which you can also play like this. Remember? Watch the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm able to tap my left foot going boom, 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 and boom, boom, boom. So my foot is doing this. Boom, 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 boom. Foot, foot, foot. But what I'm doing is I'm allowing that to turn into bing, bing, ding, 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 check it, bang it, ding, check it, bang. So I'm allowing that to morph. Boom, boom, check, boom, 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 boom. So I'm starting here. 1, 2, 3. Blam, 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 blam. Boom, boom, chink, boom, go, boom. Boom, ba, 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 ba. Okay, so kind of a crazy little shift. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, ready, and shift, boom, boom, back to boom, 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 boom. That's the shift. And now here is the content of what I do after I do that rhythmic shift. I get misty, bloom, bloom. Now watch, I do. Ah, da, da, da. Let me show you those changes. A13. Now this is a little bit tricky. If you can't do this bar with your pinky, you can just play the note single. I go. Main thing is the melody. So if you can't fill the chords in the way that I do it, that's fine. You could still go like that with just single line. I get misty. Okay. Now watch. See? Now watch this. Okay, I'm kind of walking through everything without doing a lot of explaining. Then there's a riff at the end. Big picture. Ba 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 ba. Ruba. Ba 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 ba. Ba 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 ba. Ba bam bam boo ba doo bam. And then a little piano-like riff. I'm going to do this slow for you. You'll have to iron it out using the tabs. So here we go. I'm going to take it from the C9. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and then okay, so starting on that piano riff, because we're 9 minutes into this lesson, that's what we're going to do in the following video lesson. I'll show you the fingering for this little riff that I just did at the end. Okay, so go on to the next lesson. Alrighty, well, I'm going to show you the very last sort of slick little riff that I do to finish the song. It's, I suppose, inspired by the sound of a piano riff. I use my third and second finger over here, A and M, and I go. Okay, let me show you the left hand. I go. And then thumb on the G string on the F. Then watch, I come and bar at the 7th fret, which is D triad, and over here, M index, M-I-P. It's hard to do slowly. There we go. After you get down to the A flat, coming off the downward arpeggio, I do 10th fret, 8th fret, and then hammer up to the 9th fret. Okay. Let me play that for you slowly. A 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5. Next, I'm still going to stay in time. I do an E minor 9 chord, bar the top 3, then bring it down to E flat 9. Now for the last chord, there are a few different options. Easy option, which I recommend for you, is a D6 with a 9th. I highly recommend that. That's a little bit easier than what I normally do. What I normally do, but I'll show you what I do. I go, and then I play, and then the thumb gets 2 strings, which even sitting down, that's hard for me to do. That just doesn't have the low. Okay, so at this point, what I would like to do is scroll back to the where we're still in the regular 4/4 and do the entire ending for you nice and slowly. Okay? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, ready, and. Or, and I'm just playing with the pad of my index finger there. Alrighty, that's the end of the tune, but we're not done yet. In the next lesson, I'm going to show you how to play the intro. All right. Alrighty. Welcome back. You might be wondering why I've waited this long to start describing the intro of Misty to you. And basically my reasoning is this. In terms of you performing it, I wanted to thrust you right into the part where you have to deal with the walking bass line. That's the most important thing to tackle first. And you can have a perfectly successful performance of this, just starting with without any intro. Matter of fact, that might happen on one of my concerts if there's a moment where I need to just start grooving. So the intro is optional. As well, if you start to see the structure of the intro, it'll make it a lot easier. Let me explain to you how I put it together before we get into all the chord voicings. Basically, the intro starts here. Ba 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 ba, and then it does a little fantasy with this melody to know. some different chord changes. But I didn't want to start right on bling, bling, bling. So I wrote that idea on paper. The bing, bong, bong. Just that melody. And I wanted to see, is there a way that I could start something that didn't sound like Misty, but then led naturally into that? So here's what I did. I just took the melody and I sequenced it down. See what I did? I did it so that there would be a natural melodic sequence. Bum, 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 bim, bim, bum, wah, bum, 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 bum. And then I put harmony under that. Okay? So it starts, you kind of don't know what's happening. So it's like... something. And then it goes into the intro. Okay? And then it's just got the little bit of extra harmony once we get to ba, 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 ba. Got a little bit of extra harmonic stuff there. Okay, so now that I've clued you in as to the structure, I will walk you through the exact guitar fingerings that I use. Here we go. Start with your second finger. This is going to be an F sharp 7 chord. And we're going to walk up that scale. Walk up those scale tones. Bom, bom. And then I'm playing this is an F sharp major chord with the 3rd and the bass. Okay, so that's the first bom, bom, bom. Open, harmonic. Now imagine that that A sharp is still, that low note is still hanging out in our ears, so we're going to continue the line. Okay, and we're going to end there. Let's just do that much so far. Harmonic. Okay, now. That's where we're finally in at the melody. Blah, 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 blah. Let's do that again. So we're having a bass line that moves, we're having a melody that moves, and we're letting as many notes ring as possible, and we're using some harmonics. Here we go, one more time. Or you could do, I think that's what I do. I think I actually do a harmonic there. Single line, then this sus chord shape that I like so much with the thumb over the neck. If that's too hard for you, you can do. But then this, I really want you to get that. Personally, I like that. Okay, let's keep going. Bar at the 3rd fret, starting with the thumb on the 5th strings. Now roll up the B minor chord, open E, okay, I'm going to do that much so far. Okay, one more time, starting at the beginning. Then bar at the 3rd fret, put your thumb over here on the 5th string. watch, open E, slide up. It's like a B7 chord. Now watch. Now A7 chord. Now watch this. Over here, use your third finger on the B string, slide up. We're going to get this, it's like an A7 flat 9 because of that. Now we get into some real pretty sounding chords. E flat, major 7 with third in the bass. I'm just going to show you the chord shapes. Leave the pinky. Then just move the first finger. Now, I know I'm not doing anything fancy with the right hand yet, okay? Bear with me. Now watch. Then you're going to take this shape and slide it up an octave. When I come to this, these lush chord voicings here, I try to find things that I can do with my right hand that sound like nice arpeggios, but it's pretty tricky. I'm a little bit limited as far as my speed with arpeggios on the right hand. So here's a figure that I tend to do that works for me. I plant the third finger on the high E string for just sort of grounding, and I go thumb, middle, index, and then thumb, middle again, and then thumb, index, middle. And that kind of changes from day to day, depending on how my hands are feeling. I'm always trying to look for things that I can do that will sound nice arpeggio-wise, but that are comfortable for me. So. I just roll straight up that one and then the... Okay. So let's go back to the very beginning of this intro, and I will play it straight on through until that high point. Here we go. Then from there, actually I should say from there, I do it with the percussion. Okay, because that helps me get in the pocket. Alrighty, so that's the intro. Once again, I want to recap. If you take away all this lush business that I'm doing on the guitar, it's just that's all it is, with a little bit of extra finger picking doodads and harmonics on it. Okay, let's do the last video, which is just an overall recap of everything we've done so far. All right. All righty. Congratulations on making it through the Misty guitar lessons. This is a rather tricky piece, and I'd like to offer you a little bit of reassurance about a couple things. One, as I said in the intro, very often when I play this piece, I'm not playing each note with the full force and thrust that one would expect. There are times when I'm grazing over notes and kind of just getting them, but I'm keeping my eye and ear on the overall musical picture and groove. And very often, even if things don't feel 100% right with your fingers, if you understand the song, and if you understand the groove, and if you understand the harmony, that will end up speaking much louder than here and there little technical mistakes, because this is a pretty tricky one, okay? I very much hope you enjoy playing this one. Let's just talk down the form one more time, real quick, and I'm going to kind of do some sideline semi-playing. In the last video, oddly enough, we just did the intro, that whole thing, and then we ended the intro with, right? Then we're going to come in with chorus number 1, starting with the Harlem organ shout figure. Right? We've got one A section of that. Okay? Next, we've got our second A section, which has the other kind of bass line, as you'll recall. 1, 2, 3, and this bum, 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 bum. All right, that's our second A. That goes into the bridge, which we've done, which you know. Then we do our third A section, okay? And when we end the third A section, we have our solo break. Okay? And I see that I just played something here. You could do it like that or like that, okay? Now, this whole thing with we end up going into a single line part of the melody. You can do that twice for the A sections. Figure out a way to transition yourself back in. You can go for that a second time, or you can do my single line guitar thing. Those are the first 2 A's of the second chorus. Then, bridge, third A. From the third A, we're going to transition to the halftime ending. Right? I'm just going to play the end for you. Or, okay. So that's the Misty arrangement. Please, please, please leave out anything that's too hard. Stick to that melody. Leave bass notes out. Leave harmony notes out. Just groove and melody all the way. Okay? And I'm looking forward to your upload of this. If you have any questions, please contact me, and I will try to make anything clear that is not already clear and that needs to be clarified. All right. God bless. Have fun practicing. Take care. Bye-bye.